In this lecture, we're going to have a look on CSRF, or cross-site request forgery. These vulnerabilities allow us to force a user to do things that they don't want to do. For example, once you log into a website, let's take Facebook, you'll be able to do certain things to your profile. So you can upload pictures, you can change your password, you can change your information, send messages, and post stuff to your wall. Now, CSRF occurs when the website doesn't validate if the user actually wants to do the certain task. So it doesn't check if the user actually intends to change their profile picture or to change their password. So if the website doesn't do that, we'll be able to program a HTML page, and if the user clicks it or runs it, they'll be forced to carry out a certain task that we program it to do. For example, we can get the user to change their password without them even knowing. Let's have an example on how this happens, and it will become more clear to you. So I have my DVWA here, and I'm just going to log in with my username and password, which is admin. And I'm going to put my password. Now, if we go to the CSRF tab here, you'll see that it allows us to change our password. So this is just like a normal control panel to a normal website. And usually when you log into your account, one of the features that you can do is you can change your password to a different password. So from here, I'm going to set my password to 222222. And I'll set it in here as well, the same password. I'm going to hit enter. And as you can see, it's telling us that the password has been changed. So this is an example of a feature that the user can do to their account. They can change their password. If the target website, which is DVWA, doesn't check if the user actually wants to do this task, then we can create a page that is similar to this page. And once the user runs that page, they'll actually change their password without them even knowing. Now, there's a number of ways to analyze the connection and analyze the information sent between the client and the target to make that CSRF exploit. I'm going to show you the easiest and most reliable way, and it works regardless of the type of form, whether it's post or get. So with this particular one, it's actually really easy to exploit if you just send the URL right here to the target user, and then if they run it, their password will be changed. But in more complicated ways, sometimes you don't see that, sometimes post is used. So I'll show you the most reliable way to do this kind of attack. So the first thing to do is right-click the form that you want to hijack. We're going to inspect the element. And we're going to look at where the form is. So we're going to look at where is the start of the form tag and the end of the form tag. I'm actually going to right-click it in here inside the form. And as you can see now, we have the start of the form is in here. And it ends with a /form, /form. And you can see it right here at the end. So this is the part of the code that we're interested into. This is the part of the code that we want to modify and send to the target user so that when they run it, they'll actually change their password without them knowing. So I'm going to right-click this, and I'm going to edit as HTML. And I'm going to copy everything inside here. So I'm going to do Control-A, Control-C, and that's copied for me. And then I'm going to go to my leaf pad right here, and I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to save this, and we'll call it csrf.html. And I'll put this in the desktop and click on save. And that's it, saved. Now, let's just run this code at the start and see what we get. So I have it right here on my desktop, and I'm just going to double click it. And as you can see, you just get a normal page that asks you for a new password and to confirm the password. So you can see the form here is actually similar to the form that we want to hijack. Now, to get that page to work, we need to modify a few things. Now, you can see here we have a form right here, and the action is set to a hashtag. So it actually doesn't give a website to submit this form to. So the first thing you want to modify is you want to give it the website to submit this form to. And this is going to be the same website that we're on at the moment. So I'm going to control copy this. And I'm going to put it in here instead of the hashtag. Now, sometimes you'll actually, if you're copying a form from a different website, you might actually see a name of a file. So you'll just see a file name. You want to make sure you have the full URL to the form, because if you just have a file name, for example, if you just have index.php, it won't know where that index.php is. It knows it when it's on the website because it's already stored on that website. But when we're actually taking the file like this and storing it on our local machine, you want to make sure you have the full URL in here. So even if you've seen something instead of the hashtag, if you've seen something like index.php or whatever, keep that in there, but make sure you give it the full URL that comes before that page. So this is all good. Now, if I save this and if we run this, we'll actually be able to change the password using this form. Now, the beautiful thing about these exploits, you can actually confirm that it works for you first, and then you can send it to the target client or to the target person. So if we actually reset our password here, so I'm going to set the password to 333 and confirm it in here. And then I'm going to hit enter. You'll see that we get a message telling us that the password has been changed, and we can actually now log out and log in with the new password. So this is good. Now we have a form that's actually not stored on the website, but using it, we can actually go to that website and change the password. So this actually confirms that the target website is vulnerable to CSRF because it's not validating that the request is coming from the website itself. So it's not validating if the user actually wants to do that.